Well, hi everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Gamestack. I am one of your mini co-hosts, Rick McVick, and with us tonight is Shalene.
Hello.
And we have Vendertron.
Welcome, sir or madam.
So thank you very much, everyone, for coming out with us tonight. And we have a packed show for you tonight. We have some 5-star reviews. We have some news. And we have some games that we've played. And do we or do we not have an email, Shalene? We do.
We do. We have two.
We have two. Well, awesome. So we're going to kick it off and get into... do we have anything to mention at all?
We do. For those of you who are just arriving live to the show, welcome back. And for those of you who are arriving for the first time, welcome to the show for the first time. Please feel free to hit the follow button and get notifications of when we go live right in your inbox. If you are a repeat offender, share our live show with the rest of the Twitch community by hitting that host button. It really helps us get the show out there and get more people in the chat room.
And I am driving tonight, so I hope the audio is okay. I was having some weird stuff with the intro video, so please let us know if it's funky or if it's nice in the chat room. So, right, let's get on to our 5-star review shoutouts. This one comes from DJ86 from the USA on March 1st, 2018. Been listening to Rick and Shalene since Fallout Off the Record, and Vendertron has been a great addition to the mix. If you love video games, you'll love this podcast. Thank you very much, DJ86, for that 5-star review shout-out. Shalene, do you want to take that next one?
Fox Sid from Australia says, great podcast. I love listening to these guys about the video games they are enjoying. From the We Just Love Games crew, a focus on the positive of video games. And that is actually Sherry from the Facebook group. She's very active there. So thank you, Sherry, for that review.
Thank you, Sherry.
Yes. Not related to the berries. Sherry's berries. Have you guys ever had Sherry's berries? They're like everywhere on podcasts, but I never...
know. We need a Sherry's Berries sponsorship. Goodness.
Not on this podcast.
Where's our Sherry's Berries sponsorship?
So tonight's overview, the news, Bethesda grows, Gaben speaks, Oculus possibly kicks off the robopocalypse. I'm done.
Hard. I made that one up, so it's okay. You know. Carry on.
And then we have gameplay from Shalene has been playing some PUBG with friends and loved ones. Vendor has found a new way to combine fitness and streaming, and Rick never updates the show notes, so I'm gonna guess that he played sneaking.
Well, you gotta give him points for sticking to the show notes. I mean,
he's like that Will Ferrell movie.
Fuck you, San Diego. Good show. Gamestack giveaway. A Gamestack giveaway. And listener emails, like I mentioned before. So let's get on to the news and Oculus. Was that you, Vendor? Did you pop that in the show notes?
no.
Oh,
I
Shalene.
have no news.
Oh, don't
No
you? Oh, that's right. Okay. So I have one bit of news, so we'll let Shalene handle the news.
That was a great little news intro segment.
Little callback there. Yeah.
If you love news, you're just gonna love our next segment. Oculus Rifts all died yesterday. They all just shut down.
What?
Yeah, all of them.
I swear.
Please stopped working.
I swear I did not get a memo. I knew nothing about this, you guys.
Yeah, they all just shut down.
Nobody told me anything.
It was a problem with software certificates. They all expired, so all the Oculus just shut down. They were unusable.
Well, good job, Barry from IT.
Problem. But really, like, that's ridiculous that something so small could shut down every piece of hardware, Oculus hardware in the world.
That just goes to show you how fragile our technology world is.
It's just bananas. And when I saw this tweet about this news, it was right next to a tweet about Amazon Echo Alexa laughing creepily, unbidden in people's homes.
Wow.
And I thought, oh my goodness, it's the Robopocalypse. It starts today.
Yeah.
How terrifying would that be? But do you remember that time when Google's URL expired and somebody bought it really quick? So they owned...
What?
Yeah, it happened
Really?
like a couple years ago. So they're like, "Hey, can we have that back?" Like somebody just forgot to renew it really quick.
Well, and that was like
That's incredible.
that one guy. Was it on the Microsoft store? He bought the domain just so he could renew his subscription, so he could keep playing or something, because the domain like ran out or something.
Yeah, I mean,
And then he like regifted it back to the company.
Wow.
Technology is eerily fragile, and we think of it as, oh, we always have the internet, and then
Yeah, we think of it as something that is so immortal. But one thing expires that causes a cascade effect.
and all the Oculus Rifts go down.
That's why I think people are so afraid of Bitcoin.
Absolutely. It's just so easy for things to go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, it's no secret to anybody who's been listening to the last few episodes that I'm really, really excited for the upcoming God of War game. And they recently announced a specialty PlayStation 4 Pro console in a cool God of War design. I left the link there so you guys can see it. It's sort of an abstract version of Kratos's axe. And it's silver. It has these great like Nordic designs on it. And the controller, the DualShock, is also silver. And I want one so bad, but the pocketbook says no. So, but it's so pretty. So if you guys are also excited for God of War, I would recommend checking out that. If you're thinking of upgrading to a PS4 Pro, I think that would be a good one to pick. It's $399 American dollars. Yeah, that's what PS4 Pros cost. So
I forget that. I'm so used to
How much is it?
It's $500 for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 9,000 Canadian. It costs your left kidney.
Yeah.
So I've been seeing a little upsurge in some Pokemon Go style augmented reality games lately. They have recently announced a Jurassic Park one and a Ghostbusters one. And the Jurassic Park one, guys, it looks terrible. It looks really bad. Yeah. But I have high hopes for the Ghostbusters one. I think that is a property that would really fit this style of gameplay. And I'm looking forward to it very much. So I'm definitely going to try that. I know you didn't play Pokemon Go, did you?
I did from my living room, and yeah, I don't think that's how it's supposed to work.
I did for about a week, but it wasn't something that I enjoyed.
Yeah. Well, I still play Pokemon Go now and again, about once a week. And if this Ghostbusters one is cool, I think it could be quite fun.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw that little GIF that they posted. That looks like it's meant for augmented reality. By the way, I want to talk about Oculus, the VR craze that seems to be behind us now, and augmented reality. Did we talk about this on here? I don't know if we did, but I really think augmented reality is actually the thing to stay. Like, I think VR is a fun fad, and I think that was cool, and I still think that's going to have a place, but I think augmented reality is going to be the thing that sticks. Does that make sense?
Do you think that this is sort of the event horizon to light computing?
Oh, I don't know about that. I just mean that like you know, if you take Google, or if you take, sorry, not Google Glass, but if you take like Oculus and you take a HUD overlay and you can make that in real life, like who wouldn't want that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See, I think we're more likely to keep VR than AR, because AR, you're still looking at your horrible real life.
No, I just meant in the sense of practicality.
You know, like your house is still dirty, even though there's augmented cool stuff, and there's still like somebody peeing on the corner when you're walking to the bank or whatever, and the world is still going to be awful. And I think people are going to pick VR over.
But VR is certainly less practical than augmented reality. That's all I meant.
True. That is true.
However, it doesn't seem like either of those are catching on like firestorms like they had assumed.
It's too expensive.
It's very expensive.
Too expensive, and it's too hard.
And it's like clear the living room, take the couch back.
Yeah, we're putting an addition on the house
to play VR. That's why I say I feel like augmented reality would be the thing that would catch on, because I think augmented reality is kind of a cool thing. Already in cars, they have heads-up displays on the window or the windshield.
Really?
Yes.
I want
Yeah.
that. Is that expensive?
It's about
love that.
$1,900 in the Mini Cooper.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. I would pay that. That's wonderful.
I'm
What does it show? Does it show like your GPS?
So
Does it do,
basically,
a line on the highway, like GTA? Like,
yeah. So basically, it's like a piece of glass that comes up, and then a hologram displays on the glass that shows you your dash stats and meters.
well, that's
so that you don't have to look down. So it keeps your eyes on the road. But
I wanted it to draw lines on the highway so I could look at.
I'm sure they could do it with perspective, and I think that there's a couple cars that actually shine it on the windshield, if I'm not mistaken, which I'm surely mistaken.
no, there are a few that do it on the windshield. Yeah.
I
So-
want that. That sounds wonderful. So yesterday there was a Nintendo Direct in which bunches of stuff was announced. So let's kind of roll through this. The big takeaway was Super Smash Brothers is coming to Switch. Are you guys Smash Brothers fans?
Nope.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've actually never played Smash ever.
Oh, it's so
Never
much
been-
fun.
Never been much of a Melee guy, so
Yeah. I'm not big on fighting games.
me neither.
So-
I am not either, but Super Smash Brothers is a different type of fighting. It's comical. There's nothing really serious about it.
No, I'm not a side scroll fighter guy unless it's like Golden Axe. Then I can get down some Golden Axe.
Yeah. Golden
spent-
Axe is fun.
I spent many hours playing Super Smash Bros. On N64.
Well, you can play it on Switch if you get a Switch, and you can play as one of the Squid Kids from Splatoon, which is pretty exciting. And the logo to me sort of indicates that it's just going to be a Smash 4 port. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I saw someone combating that, Shalene, with the fact that it's new music.
Interesting.
It's a new theme song.
I still have a feeling they're just going to port it. But there is a tiny, tiny little shadowy image of some of the brawlers that will be in the game. And the internet has just been analyzing that to death. So
Yeah,
you can check that out and see who you think is going to be in Smash.
if that's your thing.
Yeah. Luigi's Mansion is going to be remade for 3DS, the original Luigi's Mansion. I'm really surprised at how much 3DS love there was in this Nintendo Direct. I love my 3DS. It's a wonderful console. I think I have it right here, actually. Yeah, great console. Use it all the time. I'm ready for it to die. I want all the games to come to Switch. This shouldn't come to only 3DS. It should come to 3DS and Switch.
They have Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, the Switch is a mobile platform.
I am tired of having to still keep this thing around and plugged in, and there are still games I want to play on it. Detective Pikachu comes out this month, so I'm gonna have to still keep packing this thing around, and I'm ready for it to die. I want to move on to the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, my daughter, she's been sick today, so we've allowed her some more screen time than usual, and she's been playing the Switch on the couch in her bed. I mean, it's a handheld device. I don't know why they're not.
Yeah.
Maybe there's so many 3DSs out there that they kind of can't let it die.
Maybe.
Suddenly she's sick like every single day.
Oh man, she's doing that thing holding the thermometer next to the light bulb.
Yeah.
She's kicking butt in Mario Kart, I will say that.
Yeah. That's
But-
great. We still haven't played Kart, Rick. We need to play Kart. There's going to be a Dark Souls amiibo. Are you guys Dark Souls fans?
I've never played a Dark Souls in my
Nope.
life.
I played about an hour of Dark Souls and thought this is not for me.
I would love to see you stream that.
I will. I own a Dark Souls game, I'm pretty sure. I'll stream it.
Because that would be hilarious.
It's going to be a disaster. But you can get this Dark Souls amiibo, Solaire of Astora. He is praising the sun. And it's a great looking amiibo. I really enjoy amiibo. And I think it's so funny that this is a thing that exists.
What is Amiibo?
Amiibo? What is amiibo?
Yeah, I really don't know what Amiibo is. I'm not a
Okay,
Nintendo guy.
Amiibo are figurines. They are these little figurines that are sort of a toys to life thing. You hold the Amiibo over, I think it's the right stick on your Switch controller, and it unlocks like DLC basically. So it's DLC and it's also a figurine.
Oh, well, that's kind of a cool gimmick.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Some of my Amiibo, when I use them in Breath of the Wild, it'll drop in like a basket of fish or a bunch of flowers or a new weapon or something.
Cool.
And you can use the Zelda Amiibo in Skyrim to get some Zelda-themed gear, which is fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Tangible DLC. It's like vinyl when you get a digital download with it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I think they're fun. I really like them. Joseph Tao in chat says the Amiibo is already sold out online. They may still be taking orders in store at GameStop.
Ah.
So,
Dang.
Thank you, resident scribe.
Enough of those. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is coming to the Switch, so that's cool. I've heard really good things about Captain Toad, but I never did get around to playing it, even though I was one of the 10 people who had a Wii U. So if you're one of the 9 million people who didn't have a Wii U, you can pick up Captain Toad for your Switch, and I think it looks like a good time.
You know,
has some new stages.
You mentioned one of the 10 people that had a Wii U, and my goodness, like I went back to this nostalgic moment where I worked at Target when the Wii came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this beautiful like moment of like game craze where they were all sold out. And I don't know, it's so funny. I look back on that time. It just made I got all nostalgic.
Yeah, no, that kind of story is great. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that was an interesting time for gaming when the Fallout 3 was coming out and the Wii was not on shelves and the Wii Fit was the new it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my niece and nephew were here last week, and my niece is like, "What are you hiding under the dresser, Aunt Shalene?" And I'm like, "Nothing. You know, I don't hide anything." And she goes under the dresser and pulls out the Wii Fit board.
You had a Wii Fit too.
Yeah, it was like all covered in dust. I was like, "Oh, I remember that."
It's gonna be like an Indiana Jones thing where they're like,
exactly.
Dust flies everywhere, particles in the sunlight.
So funny. South Park: The Fractured Butthole is coming to Switch, so that's cool. You're into that?
To hear you say that.
I know. I need to get around to actually watching the direct because I want to see them dance around saying that. Splatoon 2 is getting a bunch of new content, including a DLC that will be single player, so that's pretty cool. My nephew loves Splatoon 2. He plays it all the time, so.
I hear it's pretty popular.
Yeah. And there are a bunch of other things. Okami HD is coming to Switch, so that's cool. I think that'll be a really good platform for it. Undertale is also coming to Switch. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's also a good fit for that game. And No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again apparently got some new gameplay footage. I'm excited to see that. I loved the first two No More Heroes games, and I can't wait to get another one. So
very cool.
Interesting.
A lot of Nintendo news.
Mm-hmm. I just imagine everybody like when Super Smash Brothers was mentioned.
Yeah, that has a
bet
very
there were
devoted
people
following.
crying.
Has a very devoted following. Not a fan of them myself though.
Yeah. PUBG released some news about their new plans for the rest of the year.
I saw.
And I'm not going to talk about all of this, but they are talking about a new map that will be 4x4 kilometers. It is an island-style map, so no desert. Yay!
Thank God. So I can hide in a bush again.
But it's a much smaller map than we are used to. So it will lead to
Many
like every
fireflies.
drop will be a hot drop.
I'm looking at that map now, and the concept of it has me excited.
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of coastal towns.
You do love you some coastal towns.
I do.
They're also going to be rolling out an emote system. If you want to scroll down, you can see a couple of emote animations, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So I
like in the link?
yeah, in the link.
I cannot wait till like somebody's doing an emote and they just get sniped in the face, because that will be a thing.
That's gonna be how I die in every game going forward.
Thwonk.
So the map is releasing now.
Is it?
Is it?
No,
that's what I meant.
No,
so.
it comes out next month on the
Oh.
experimental test server, so we can play it like we did.
And it'll break everything.
So I think they have actually rolled out a test server update, so it may be in there now. We can check it out.
We will
Show.
explore after the show. I wonder if they're going to introduce any more weapons.
They are. There's a photo of a weapon in the link below
like,
the photo of the map.
It looks like a G3, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about weapons, so.
It's a big assault rifle. Israelis use them. But it would be interesting to see if they add that sort of thing in there. They are kind of slim pickings on, fully automatic assault rifles.
Yeah.
And everyone loves variety.
So speaking of other things that everyone loves, or at least everyone here on this podcast, Bethesda Game Studios is something that we all love, and they're expanding.
I saw this. It's very exciting.
Yes. There is now Bethesda Game Studios located in Austin.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily a new studio. It's basically a restructuring of Battlecry Studios.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but this does mean that they're not going to be working on this MOBA anymore. Presumably, they're going to be working on BGS mainline titles. So,
Very cool.
I like that they have all these studios. It means maybe our wait time will be smaller before we get the next Bethesda Game Studios game.
Maybe some new projects rather than kind of like, reskinned old ones and Skyrim again. Which I think is what they should call the next port of Skyrim. Skyrim, again.
Yeah. Do you think there are going to be more Skyrim ports, Rick?
Oh, hell yes. Why would there not be?
Where do you think it's going next?
I think it's going to go, like I said on my Facebook post, the N64. I think they're going to throw us for a loop and create a side-scroll Skyrim version for the N64. I really don't know where it's going to go next. It could be the friggin' ColecoVision for all I know. But I do believe we're going to get another Skyrim port, because why would they stop?
Yeah.
I
think they're done.
I hope so. I really do. No, I was going to say, if I had to honestly predict, they would be done. I'm just being silly and joking. By the way, this has to do with ZeniMax. I found this very interesting, that I was we're not going to talk about it here, but for those of you that want to check it out, the White House did have a bunch of developers in for a meeting. I think Take-Two was there. Some ZeniMax guys were there, so you can check it out. I find it interesting. It's something to look into. But I didn't know this. Robert Trump is on the board for ZeniMax. That's Donald Trump's brother.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm. I had no clue that there was a Trump on the board for ZeniMax. I just found that really fascinating, and he did not attend. But anyway.
That is so unexpected.
I know. It was like, well, there's a name I didn't expect to see on the list. But anyway, check that out on your own time. We're not going to talk about it here, but it is a thing that happened this past week. The montage is very fun. Fortnite. Let's talk about Fortnite.
Fortnite Battle Royale is coming to mobile with crossplay.
I don't think that's going to go well.
Me either. Me either.
I really don't think that's going to go well.
That's just bonkers. I could be on my Xbox One, and you could be on your PC, and Vendor could be on his phone, and we could all be playing the same match of Fortnite Battle Royale.
My thumbs are in the way.
See, here's the thing. Like, even if it was smooth on phone, I still wouldn't play it on phone.
No, of course not.
Right.
So even if they did a good job, they're still not doing the right job.
Right. Why is this a thing? I mean, Fortnite on mobile, sure, do it. But why is it crossplay? You're just going to get slaughtered.
I don't know. I just don't understand. Some kid out there is going to perfect it. And it's going to be a YouTube video of him playing on a phone and just obliterating everyone.
It's probably going to be my nephew. He'd be like owning everybody. He plays a bunch of Battle Royale games on mobile.
Battle Royale is super popular right now, but I don't know. Didn't Fortnite go down not too long ago? I think it
Did it?
I think it like every server died or something like that.
Oh, I was like, are we talking about shares? Is this the share segment?
I forgot to add the stock segment. I haven't checked my EA stock. Let's check the EA stock in real time.
I bought 3 different game stocks. I made $10 and sold everything because I needed money. So,
Nice.
I spent 150 and got back 160. Which I guess isn't bad.
My single EA stock is worth $128.49. I bought it for 90 something. So we're doing well here, guys.
Awesome.
We're doing well.
Very cool.
Free games. We love them. We love them.
Free
Do you want to give
games.
one away, or do you want to talk about the news ones first?
We can give some games away right now if you guys like. Take a little break. Give you a little break from the news there, Shalene. Do we have a special gift?
We do, actually. Captain Bones, who is in the chat right now, has actually offered us to give away a copy of GTA 3. So
That's excellent. Thank you, Captain
right.
Bones. So I should probably put together a list of all of our viewers who are currently in the chat right now.
While you're doing that, should I roll through the free games that they can not on our podcast?
That.
Okay, guys, if you are a PlayStation Plus member for the month of March, you can get a copy of Bloodborne, which is pretty tremendous. It is a Dark Souls style game. I've heard that many people find it superior to the Souls series, but it's in the same vein. So Bloodborne, it actually looks pretty cool, and that you can get it for free is a tremendous thing. Ratchet and Clank, also available.
Great game.
Is it really?
Oh, it was awesome. And we're talking about the original one for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes.
Very cool game.
All right. Legend of K on PlayStation 3 and Mighty Number 9 on PlayStation 3 with PS4 crossplay. Why are you laughing, Rick?
Because as soon as you said the Legend of K, my mind went to that's a weird role-playing game where you're the founder of K Jewelers.
Yes. Every kiss begins with K. It's a dating sim.
This is why I was laughing.
Oh dear. So podcast. If you have a PS Vita, you can get Claire Extended Cut and Bombing Busters. Those are both PS4 crossplay. And next March, the PlayStation Plus program will no longer include PlayStation 3 or PS Vita titles. So if you have those consoles and are still actively playing them, you have a year of free content coming, and then it ends. And that was inevitable. Frankly, I'm surprised that they're still giving out this free content for those platforms.
So the game, I always get confused between the PlayStation Plus and they have like another subscription package. The PlayStation Plus is strictly all the titles that you can play for free, correct?
Right.
So they're removing all of the Vita and PS3 titles?
Well, they won't be giving new ones. If you have some that you earlier received for free, you can still play them, but they won't be providing new ones.
I think we're talking about two different things. Because PlayStation Plus is one thing, but then there's PlayStation Now. It's PlayStation Now.
Yes, PlayStation Now is the paid subscription service.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
They have like too many subscription services.
Captain Bones in chat says that in the Legend of K, K Jewelers
Battling Jared.
RPG that you battle with Jared. I love that. Somebody make that game, please. I would play it. That would be wonderful.
Awesome.
So, Vendor, are we ready? Are we ready?
You're
Vendor,
muted, buddy.
You're muted.
Oh, 3 other people. I'm adding 3 other people to the list here.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I get all of the people who are in our Discord, because that is a perk of being part of the Discord community. So how can people get onto the Discord, guys?
To get onto the Discord, you can just shoot us a personal message on any channel. We're on Twitter at We Just Love Games, Shalene L, Rick McVick, or Vendortron. Vendortron N on Twitter, I believe.
Correct. Yep.
On Facebook, you can shoot us a message there, or I don't know, anywhere really, here on Twitch. And we will get you a link to our Discord so you can join in. It's basically just the Twitch chat extended throughout the week. You know, we've got this little internet family that we've sort of
Adopted.
fallen into here, and it's delightful. It's really delightful. So
You know what they say, that you can pick your nose, you can pick your friend's nose, but you can't pick your family. I think that's completely wrong.
yeah.
Close, but no. Yeah.
Close, but no cigarette.
Shall we save GTA 3? Is it GTA 3 or GTA 4?
3.
Shall we save that for the end?
Yes, make people
Okay.
wait.
So the first game that we're giving away today is called Train Valley. Have you guys ever heard of Train Valley?
I live in Train Valley.
Right. So you don't even need a sim game for that, Shalene. You can just walk outside and live the experience. It's currently selling on Twitch for about $12 right now. Train Valley is a train simulation game where you can build railways, manage traffic, and stay accident-free, playing Europe, America, Japan, and the USSR in 1830 to 2020. Complete the story mode from the gold rush of 1849 to the first manned space flight, and then explore the random mode, management, and construction. We welcome all to play Train Valley together. And it has overwhelmingly positive reviews. Over 1,200 people have given it really good reviews. It released on September 16th, 2015. Developer Alex Davidov and Sergey Davaynik. Yeah, I butchered those. I'm sorry, guys. And publisher Flasm. So
I don't know if you can hear, but there is a train rolling through my town right now.
Perfect. Let's roll the number generator and see who our winner is. Number 26, that is Dirty Llama Racer.
Yay.
So, Dirty Llama Racer, we will connect with you after the show. Make sure you get a copy of that. Our second game looks so cool, you guys. I almost don't want to give it away. It's called Back to Bed, and I don't know if you guys have played Monument Valley.
Have you kind of like Don't Wake Daddy? Remember that board game?
Well, it's kind of like Monument Valley in that it's a 2D puzzle. I'm just gonna move on from that because
you're like anyway.
Yeah. In Back to Bed, you guide the sleepwalker Bob to his safety, or to the safety of his bed by taking control of his subconscious garden named Sub Bob. Together, they will travel through a surreal and painting-like dream world, avoiding dangers and getting safely back to bed. All reviews mostly positive. Published August 6, 2014 by Bedtime Digital Games. Surprise, surprise. Currently on Twitch for $6.50, and that game goes to Kern Jess.
Nice.
Yay!
One of our moderators extraordinaire.
I miss Jess.
Yeah.
She's been busy.
And our last game, I don't know if you guys want to tell the people what it's about. I'm sure people know, but
Shalene, take it away. I'm trying to do something real quick.
You know what, guys? I haven't played a ton of GTA 3. I've played maybe 10 or 15 minutes of it.
Oh, we're giving it away now?
Really? Well, GTA 3 is my absolute one of my favorite. It's Vice City, is it not?
No, Vice City.
Vice City's Vice City.
Like made in the engine. I think.
GTA 3 is it's 2D, isn't it?
No, that's GTA 2. Stop.
It's still 3D. Okay, it's a game in which you steal cars. You play as a person with a criminal bent. And stuff happens. Yeah.
It was the first GTA that was third person, and
GTA 3.
Yeah, it was the very first like kind of GTA for PlayStation 2. Man, it was like one of the biggest games for the PlayStation 2.
Oh yeah, I played this. The black Camaro and the Hummer. Yes, I remember this now.
That's in all of them.
Yes.
Anyway, Vice City was my personal favorite because it had the 80s,
synthwave,
flock of seagulls feel.
So good. Yeah.
Okay, let's let Captain Bones describe it here. It's the first 3D GTA. It broke the mold and created the open world games we play nowadays.
He's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bones.
He's absolutely right. And our winner is I
knew it.
Net Century. So congrats, Net Century. We will connect with you a little bit later on. And I would like to point out that Net Century is one of our Discord people. He's not on the show in the chat room right now, but he's won because he's in the Discord.
So let's
congratulations.
Let's take one quick step back here about Vice City, and I need to read off the voice acting cast because it's utterly ridiculous. Okay, it sounds like a AAA movie. Ray Liotta is a voice actor.
Of course.
William Fichtner. Tom
Who's
Sizemore. Oh, you'd know William Fichtner if you looked him up. He's a
okay. I'm gonna look right now.
Tom
William
Sizemore, Dennis Hopper, Burt Reynolds, Louise Guzman.
Burt Reynolds?
Yes. Danny Trejo, Gary Busey, Lee Majors, Fairuza Balk. I mean, it's ridiculous. Could you imagine
how much money did they spend
That's what I was gonna
making
say.
this
Could you
game?
imagine the budget? I remember that Tommy Vercetti, the lead character, I remember that sounding a lot like Ray Liotta because I loved Operation Dumbo Drop. The movie is just an absolutely amazing movie, and Ray Liotta was in it, so I knew that knew the voice from that.
Miss Cleo was in it as well, says Bo.
Wow.
Dude,
That's amazing.
This is why GTA games are great. I wish I liked 5 more, but they're so full of goofy little things like that. But that cast is ridiculous.
So if I ever,
I think we should try playing some GTA Online together, you guys.
I don't have it anymore.
You really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I have it on PS3, PS4. So
Well, fine. Fine. We'll just put that idea to bed.
we'll add it to the stack. We'll add it to the stack.
Spendertron, read our final news story, please.
No, he doesn't
no.
get to because he
I
doesn't.
don't-
He asked, "Is Valve in America?" Like he didn't even know what Valve was.
Rick, read the final news story, please.
Gabe Newell came out and said that Valve's going to start shipping games again, and that's awesome. Who knows what they are? Who knows at all?
I
what
don't
this
think
is
we're
gonna
going
be.
to see any of these tentpole franchises that we want to see. I think we're going to keep seeing zany stuff like this Dota card game.
And that's fine because Dota was a huge seller for them. But Valve has always put out great games. I mean, Portal, obviously Half-Life's. You have the Left 4 Deads, which were like, honestly, the Left 4 Deads I think kind of pushed along this like zombie craze. They were right in the middle of it. And then you have the Portals, which were just ingenious video games with super sharp comedy. They've been focusing so much on Steam. It's going to be interesting to see what they start putting out. I'm looking at the PC Gamer article, and it literally says Valve was jealous of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think we're going to see from this, Shalene?
Well, I think that the Valve that exists today is a different company than the Valve that released all those incredible games.
Yeah, that's true.
I really do. I believe they are a completely different company than they were back then. And I know a lot of their creative talent has left the company. So I don't know. We may see something in these tentpole franchises or something new and equally incredible. But I think we're going to see stuff that makes tons of money, like Dota. Lots of people love Dota. This card game, I'm sure, is going to make them lots and lots of money. I don't think they're going to make these single player experiences, which are what I want from Valve.
So let's have a little chat real quick. Do we have time for this? Yeah, we got time for this.
We do.
Do we all think that the single player experience of unique and truly amazing game play is going to be left up to indie developers, and that AAA video game developers are just going to start giving us, or like they have been giving us, good games that are fun to play, but highly based on a monetary value and ROI? Because you can see the digression that happened. Like, we even looking at the Fallout games. Fallout 3 was pretty user-friendly, but still hard to get into. New Vegas was even actually kind of more unuser-friendly than 3 was, but Fallout 4 was completely accessible. I mean, you can see it even more so with Morrowind, to Oblivion, to Skyrim. And it seems like games are getting a lot more accessible. There's more DLC, there's loot crates now, things like that nature. And they're getting more multiplayer based. So does it seem like those old Valve games that we got, it's now going to be left up to indie developers to create those experiences now? And AAAs are pretty much done with it?
I don't think so. I think that we still have developers out there AAA developers that want to make these tremendous, extremely high quality single player experiences. I don't think that time is over. It might be someday though. I do think it is growing into a more rare beast.
Mousetrap says, look at Prey and Doom, but those were remakes. And then Captain Bones says Horizon and AC Origins. They're all just same, they're franchises. They're not like, Portals, which I guess you could say Portals and Half-Life were franchises, but yeah, so maybe franchises are all right. But anyway, it's just a thought that I had because I was thinking about it. And, Ubisoft.
I would argue that Prey is not a remake. It uses the name Prey, which was an existing franchise, but it's not at all really related in any way to the first Prey.
I'll give you that. That's my fault. I mean, but I just, I think like to Ubisoft and what they did with Tom Clancy, and they kind of butchered that. And I don't know. It's just I'm not saying that's an argument that I support. It was just something I thought of.
Yeah. That's interesting. It's an interesting conversation to have. I don't think so. I think there are still a lot of great single player things that are going to be killing it coming up. Like, look at this new God of War game. It looks incredible. And that's a single player experience. They announced that there would be no microtransactions with that game. So
that's true.
Yeah.
No, it was just I don't think it's over either. I just think we're getting a little bit farther away from it from AAA developers, but yeah. So, Vendor, you're awful quiet up there tonight.
Oh, I'm just thinking, like Valve is focused on hardware development for so long.
They were, and it all fell to crap.
and yeah, and like shippables and those are two different domains, and I think you can't move one designer into a different department and expect success. And my suspicion is that Valve has a very interesting management style in their company, and it's probably really inefficient at producing shippable games right now.
Exactly.
But they're rolling in storefront cash, I think. So there really hasn't been much of an incentive to look at that. But I don't know.
Steam prints money. Valve does not need to make games. If they do go back to making games, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be a labor of love and not a money making focus. I don't know.
I would imagine that they have a lot on the back burner that they can push out. And I do think that it's awesome that they can have a studio in which they can utilize a budget and turn out ideas until something really great happens, because in my own opinion, I think that the industry is kind of stagnant this year when it comes to games. And I think that people are struggling to reach the caliber that Fallout 4 was.
I haven't found anything exciting coming out that.
Yeah. So, and I don't think that they have any financial obligations. Maybe we should buy stock in Valve. Who knows?
What's interesting though? One could actually argue that Steam was not even a monetary. I mean, like Steam was one of those ideas where there was a gap in the system. They saw like, oh, we can consolidate all this stuff and make a pile of money. One could argue that Valve has never been out to make piles and gobs of money from the get-go. They just saw a good opportunity.
I disagree. I think they are. I feel like the Half-Life series was not necessarily a game series as much as it was a way to sell their engine, the Source engine.
Yeah, but they were amazing games. That's the thing. If
they were. I love them. I wish I was playing them right now, but
if it went the way of He-Man in the cartoon series, how that cartoon was only made to sell the toys, and you could tell because the cartoons are like, we're gonna go do the things. Like, maybe I'll give you that argument. But the fact that those games were really brilliant games, like they kind of did the same thing with Steam. They knew they could make gobs and piles of money, but they were also filling a hole that everyone wanted, which was one place to buy and download all of your video games and then keep them.
Right.
So they were like, we could do two things at once. Honestly, it's kind of a brilliant. Well, how do they keep doing this?
I think that they're really smart in that they, many years ago, they pulled back and really focused their business model. And that's where they made most of their eggs, right? And
Sure.
now they're in a place where they can expand and become a bigger player in the industry. And I think a lot of the development time that they have probably spent working on concepts and prototypes have never really seen the light of day. And that there is a lot in the backlog. I think they have a lot of stuff in their cutting room that they just have to work on.
Could be.
And I think it's cool that they, given the income and the revenue that they've generated, they have the freedom to try those new things. I think that's really neat. Maybe we will see Dota 2.
It is Dota 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dota 2's out, so you're.
It is Dota 2.
Dota 3. Sorry.
So
Can you tell that I actually play those games?
You're a fanboy of Valve, I can see. So 2 things real quick. Joseph Tao does mention in the chat that Valve is not a publicly traded company. You cannot buy stock in them. So pew pew. And
there goes my money making scheme.
Yeah, it's all gone. The second thing is something that we'll touch upon quick before we get into what we've been playing in the week. But Mousetrap mentions that Bethesda said they're going to have another BE3 this year. And I don't know what to think about that. Last year's was such a letdown, and
I think
do it again.
This year's gonna be the year.
You think so?
I do. I think last year might have been the year, but I think they pulled it at the last minute. I think they pulled something big.
I wanna believe you, Shalene. I wanna believe that this is the year we get a new.
Are we gonna stream it together? Are we gonna do the BE3 live stream?
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I tweeted that we were. I was hoping that you guys were also.
Yep. Better to say it and ask for permission later, right?
I was hoping you guys would be interested in doing that.
Of course,
I already tweeted it.
So, maybe this year will be the year we get Dishonored 3, we get another Fallout, and an Elder Scrolls. Could you imagine dropping all 3 of those at once? It would never happen. But maybe this year will be the year. I don't know. It's
What if we got a Fallout spinoff? I would love that.
Like what?
Happen like a not numbered Fallout, like Fallout New Vegas.
Fallout Equestria?
Yes, that's gonna be the one.
Fallout Forest of Feelings.
Yes. Fallout Equestria is 800 pages or something.
What?
Yes, we had Fallout Off the Record listeners who very much wanted me to read Fallout Equestria, but I never did get around to it.
10 years from now, they'll make a movie about it, and no one will know what it was from.
No. But yeah, so BE3 is going to be a thing, and I don't know what to think about that. It'll be interesting.
Well, it can't be any worse than last year.
It
can.
Unless everything that they're revealing is all trading card games based on current IPs.
It was cool, though, that everything they had on stage at BE3 did come out during the calendar year.
I'll never forget all of our simultaneous reactions when what was that store thing that
Creation Club?
Oh yeah, we're like, oh.
It's so bad I didn't even remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Has that thing actually sailed?
I feel like they're poking.
No, they still post new stuff to it all the time. Remember a couple weeks ago I bought the Tunnel Snakes quest?
It's still there. I just feel like it's not doing what they wanted it to do. They probably thought it could be like a Nexus mods, but people pay.
Well, it had potential. It had potential to be something really fantastic. And I felt so optimistic about it. But they came out with a bunch of junk, They launched it with junk. They should have launched it with some quests, The quests are bad.
They had Radiant quests.
The quests were radiant, and the quests were radiant.
You know what's also radiant? Our gameplay. What have you been playing, Rick?
I actually have been struggling this week. The last 2 weeks, honestly, I haven't really gotten into anything. Everything's been boring and just time killer. So, just a lot of Ghost Recon, a lot of Ark. That's been fun. I've become everyone's arms dealer in Ark. That's been fun. But yeah,
I noticed you've been playing some Ghost Recon.
Yeah, but that's it. I haven't found anything worth of substance that I've been wanting to play. So it's been a dry 2 weeks. What about you?
I've actually got around to playing video games.
Good.
Yay!
I always never really have anything for this part of the show, and I'm so happy to be able to tell you guys all the stuff that I've been playing. Even though I've been writing exams and midterms for the last 2 weeks, I have found more time to play video games. And I've actually done okay on my exams, so that's good. Do you guys remember Valentine's Day and the whole Ark event a couple episodes ago that I talked about?
Yeah.
and how I tamed that bright pink frog and how much I loved it. Well, the frog died. Yeah, that happened. Very sad about it.
Tell them why.
So I went to Rick's base and I was just visiting and running around with the frog. I think we were looking for silica pearls because we wanted to make a chemistry bench.
Yes, we were.
And I thought that I would wander to the ocean side of one of the islands around his base, and I ran into an alpha raptor, which at the time was not bothering me. I should point out, actually, before then, I had tamed a jerboa who was so cute. He was red and white and pink. He had this cute little red face. It was adorable. And he was just adorable. We still have pink and red dinos wandering around the island from Valentine's Day.
Yep.
They're just there waiting for people to tame them. Anyway, so I had tamed him too, and I ran into this alpha raptor, and the thing wasn't bugging me at the time, but I thought, I should probably get rid of it because if it does attack me, I want it to already be dead. And so I pulled out my gun and I fired a shot at it, thinking I had a full clip, and I only had one bullet.
Oh.
So then I'm like frantically trying to reload, and this thing beelined for me and killed me instantly with one chomp. And I was like, no, my jerboa. And I woke up at main base in my bed. I hopped on my dragon and I flew back to Rick's as quick as I could. And I got there and the frog was still alive.
Oh, goodness.
And I tried to pick it up. I tried to pick it up with the dragon, and I missed the first time because the dragons in Ark are so clunky. It's like flying a 737 through the air. Yep. And so I had to circle back, and by the time I had gotten back, it died. And I was so disappointed. And Ark is one of those games where you just don't get attached to things because they will most certainly die. And you think I would have learned that now. I almost have 1,000 hours in Ark, but I still get attached to dinos.
It's hard not to. They're so cute.
They are so cute, right? The frogs are so cute. You can lick your enemies and they'll fall asleep.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's adorable.
You can it puts them into like a hypnotic state and they just pass out.
Oh my goodness. That's wonderful.
Yeah. But I think, like Rick alluded to, I think the server is moving to a new kind of level of gaming between our tribe because we've reached levels where we can make new gear and new types of gear. And so we're really moving into this new type of economy, and we're establishing an actual economy. Rick's an arms dealer. I'm the scientist, so I make all the drugs. All the drugs.
You do?
The Walter White of Ark.
Yes. Yeah, quite literally. And so we were able to make some scuba gear, which is really awesome because the Ragnarok map apparently has this very vast underwater cave system that is supposed to be really beautiful. And so 4 Mile and I the other night, we had quickly whipped up some scuba gear and hopped on our new frogs, and went for a swim, which, by the way, the frogs are just awesome to go sea venturing on, frog venturing. And we found a cave, which was pretty cool. I'm hoping that I can show you tonight, Rick, or perhaps another night. Yeah. So I have this newfound love for frogs in Ark. I've decided to start a frog farm. And so this weekend will probably be a lot of building the frog farm and scuba diving with everybody on Moose Team 4.
Yeah.
So that's my Ark gameplay. Did you want to say something, Rick?
No, I was just gonna say the new economy is fun. Every once in a while, I'll see like a message of like, "Hey, I delivered you metal," or "I delivered you this thing, and I took 50 or 100 rounds of shotgun ammo, and it's nice." And I just kind of make more and stick it in a box, and then I'll tweet out. I feel like ammunition, where I'm like, "Fully automatics and pistols on sale now," kind of thing. But,
oh man, I'm having flashbacks of rolling up in my taxi cab and quickly running into the ammunition and buying more guns.
Yep, and then what was it? Like,
so good.
Right, left, down, up. I forget what it was, but then
like
$10,000, and you're like, buy all the guns.
Yeah. So that happened. Ark happened. You know what also happened? Game of Thrones, you guys. I played the Game of Thrones mobile game. It's a mobile platformer that is well, do you remember in our previous episode, Red Letter Day, how Shalene was saying that the Game of Thrones mobile game might not actually suck?
It's not out yet. The one we were talking about last time. It's not out yet.
Really?
You were playing a different one.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Oh, well, then I'm glad because this one sucked really badly. This is Game of Thrones Conquest that I played.
Oh, this is one of those like Clash of Clans or whatever.
I thought, well, I was on the train on my way to school this morning, and I thought, you know what, I need another game to talk about today on the podcast. I'm just gonna. Game of Thrones is out now. I'll play that. Apparently, it's not. So, anyways, I played Game of Thrones Conquest, which is this mobile platformer game, but it's very economy-based, point and click. If you're into that sort of thing and moving armies around and stuff, so it wasn't really for me. It looks as though they've put a lot of work into this version of the game, but I'm not really into just pointing and clicking and yeah. So, but in this game, in this storyline, Daenerys is the queen, so I like that. I did start playing Zwift, and Zwift is totally awesome. It is a cycling game, cycling sim game. And so you guys know how I'm always trying to make the world a healthier place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm now doing this on Twitch through stream. And the past week I started streaming Zwift.
Nice.
And yeah, so like I said, it's a cycling simulation game where you actually hook your bike up to your trainer and you cycle with people all over the world in real time, which is really cool. And I'm a cyclist. Last year was my first season with a proper cyclocross bike I picked up a bike trainer that I hooked my bike up to. It's the Wahoo Kicker Snap. Picked that up from a colleague. Thank you, Anna. Shout out. And I started riding it in winter indoors because here you can't ride a bike in winter. I mean, you can, but it has to be a fat bike, right? So it's pretty good. I had some speed issues at the start, calibrating my trainer to make sure that my bike would go fast enough. And so I was really disappointed at first because I was pedaling so hard and then I was like moving so slow. And I'm like, why is it not just matching up? This is so frustrating. I should be able to get good. So what I did was I actually changed my profile stats so that my weight was like 60 pounds. So I was like a 60 pound, 13'9" guy.
That's incredible.
And it worked for a little bit until the software realized, they were like, wait a minute, you're not this good of a cyclist. This doesn't work. And so I actually ended up getting temporarily suspended by Zwift devs.
Wow.
Yeah,
They swung the banhammer on you.
They swung the banhammer. I lost all my clothes and my special skins that I had achieved so far. I couldn't see any of the stats when I was cycling. My trainer wouldn't sync with the game itself. I couldn't race with anybody. It was terrible. I was so disappointed because I just wanted to be like everybody else. I just wanted to be fast and cool. Anyways, the game is really cool. If you've got a bike and you've got a trainer, I recommend that you hook it up and get a subscription for Zwift. Here in Canada, it's $18.99 per month. But there is a workaround to that. If you purchase yourself a 3-month gift card, you can get it for $45 Canadian. So I recommend that you do it that way. And yeah, the stream, my stream was really well received. I was quite surprised. I didn't think I would have as much reception as I thought I would. There was a lot of people coming in and a lot of follows. There was a lot of follows from fellow cyclists, which was really cool. Awesome. And a lot of longtime viewers coming back into the stream. So it was lovely to see all of your familiar faces, HeyFum64, Zapu, and many more. So I think this is something that I'm going to continue with. Yeah, it was fantastic. Some of the upcoming games, actually, that you'll probably hear me talking about in future is The Council, which drops on March 15th, I think, or 13th.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm very excited about this. I love period pieces. It is a period piece game set in 1793. It's a narrative adventure where your choices and characters' growth truly matters. And you're part of a secret society, and you live a tale of intrigue and manipulation on the hunt for your missing mother, I believe. So that's exciting. I'm excited about that. I also am excited to talk to you guys and hopefully do a Let's Play on Sea of Thieves, which is coming up this month. But that's my gameplay. What about you,
Awesome.
Shalene?
Well, I didn't have time to play a lot of games. Things at my job have been just bananas lately. I've not even had time to really sleep, let alone play video games. But I did get in a little bit of PUBG time. My niece and nephew were here last weekend, as I mentioned earlier. And my nephew, like, he watches a lot of gaming content on YouTube, right? And he'll come up and when he comes here, he knows I'll probably have the games that he's been watching. So he wants to try them out, right? And see if he wants to play them. And this time it was PUBG. He wanted to check out PUBG.
Oh.
So we sat and we took turns playing PUBG with the niece and the nephew. They both did pretty well. They made it into the 30s. My nephew had a little strategy. He dropped at a specific building. You know, he did great.
So tell me, what was their strategies?
Well, his strategy, my nephew's strategy, was to drop at a not super populous area, you know, like we usually do, just a few buildings and get what gear he could. And yeah, basically the way we play PUBG was his strategy.
Okay, good.
Now the niece decided that she wanted to jump into the ocean, and she did, and she swam down to the seafloor and almost drowned and couldn't get up, and I was frantically trying to get her up. You know, we were playing the PC version, and she had like the tiniest sliver of health left when I got her to the surface of the water. It was so funny. So we're in this coastal town. I don't even remember which one it was. It might have been Lipovka. And she's running around, and she is kitted out with a level 3 backpack, a level 3 vest. She's got all these guns, all this ammo, just incredible. And we were trying to sort of guide her to go toward the circle, you know, like, we're like, you're gonna die, you know, you need to go to the circle, you know, you know how the circle works, right? She's like, yes, I watched with brother. And we would point her in the direction, and she would go the other direction, and we were like, you're gonna die, kiddo. And she's like, no, you guys are telling me the wrong way. And she died outside the circle, and she was devastated. It was hilarious. Crazy kids. But we had a lot of fun playing PUBG. They were here actually when we did the stream last week, and I had a really cute moment. So I give them hugs, and I'm like, okay, you know, I'm gonna go do my show. And I'm leaving, and I hear the niece say, I bet Aunt Shalene has a lot of subscribers. It was so cute. It was so cute.
That's good. They totally look up to you.
They do. I don't know. Poor kids. They need a role model.
Poor kids.
They need a better role model.
Did they watch the show?
You know, they watched a little bit of our Division stream while I was at work at the post office. They were missing me, so Mom put on the Division stream.
Oh, that's funny.
Watch, and they thought it was really funny. She told me that my nephew had said, do you remember, Rick, when we both died to the baseball bat guys at the same time?
I do.
My mom says that my nephew told her, well, if he would have stayed with Aunt Shalene, he wouldn't have died. It was so funny.
Oh, no.
Really, kids. But I also played some PUBG with 4 Mile, the 5th member of Moose Team 4.
Yes, you did.
All of you guys were out busy living your lives, and she and I were just sitting around. So we jumped into some PUBG duos, and she hasn't played a ton of PUBG. You know, I think she said it was December the last time she had played. And so we jumped into a duo. It was on Erangel, the main map, and it was fun. We were having a good time, and lo and behold, we find ourselves in the top 10. And so we had driven into the circle, and we're hiding on the side of this hill, and we see all of this crazy stuff going down at this farmhouse. It was amazing. Everybody was fighting. We're like, okay, let's just chill out here and let them kill each other, you know, and we'll just go in and mop up.
Mm-hmm.
And we made it to a top 3 situation. It was she and I and one other guy left alive. And she got downed. I saved her. It was amazing. There were only 3 of us alive, and I saved her. And I thought for sure as soon as I stood up to revive her that I was going to get just headshot, but I didn't. And we were very, very close to winning that round, but we didn't. So we were the number 2 team instead. But
Number
it was
2.
so much fun.
Hey man, number 2 in my books is like so rewarding.
Oh, I know.
Felt so good. That top 10 feeling is just amazing. It's just amazing when you get there and your heart is pounding, and it's just the best. But we had a lot of fun.
All that dopamine.
We played several rounds of duos, and it was a good time. And our last week's stream was The Division. Rick and I played. It was a lot of fun. I recommend it. It's a fun game. So I would really like to play that game as a Moose Team 4. I think we would all enjoy that.
I've been saying that. I would love to play that game with everyone.
Oh yeah.
I think that
would be loads of fun.
Oh, and Pocket Camp. You guys don't want to hear about that, but I've been playing tons of Pocket Camp. It's basically all I've had time for. But shout out to Archin for all the ladybugs. Thank you.
That's so cool.
That's cute.
That is so cool. All right. So is that what you played this week?
That's it.
Awesome. So I think we're going to get into our fortnightly Gamestack challenge. And last week, some of your favorite video game foods. And we happen to have some submissions. We have actually a few submissions. Let me see if I can.
This one went over pretty well.
See if I can get these hotkeys right. Bam! Nope. Bam! There we go. All right. All right. So I can't really see the OBS screen, so I'll have to look at the other one. So Sean Cullen, and he's got, take it from me, the General, the Minuteman. Before I'm called upon to put out all the Commonwealth's trash fires, I start my day with an Old Glory donut, a classic sweet roll, hoo-ah, and a quantum caffeinator from Slocum Joe's. Yum. #Gamestack challenge. And
cool.
Are those donuts mods? I've never seen one of those.
Those are, I think they're a creation, the donuts.
Oh, I've never seen.
Yeah.
Seen one of
He's
those?
in chat, I believe. So go ahead and clarify. But I think the donuts are a creation.
Very cool. Moving on.
This one is so great.
We've got Captain Bones living the single life.
For our audio listeners, Captain Bones is playing The Sims, and he's sitting on some folding table set furniture in underwear, eating a frozen dinner.
Maybe he can correct me, but is one of his fears frigging balloons? I think so.
Captain Bones?
Yeah, like in the Sims HUD
Sim.
there. One of his fears is fire, balloons, and what looks like a baton.
Oh, I wish I could see it, but it's quite
So
small.
probably
on my
the
screen.
circus would not be a good outing for this sim.
Yeah, that would not be good at all. And then we have Vendortron's submission. I'm just waiting for it to show up on the stream so I can actually read it. Having
yeah,
a
that's
feast
mine.
in Ark. And
Yes.
what's dead there on the table? What is that?
That is a we call them poop butts, but their real
Sounds delicious.
Yeah, their real taxonomy is Phiomia, and it's basically the pig in Ark. But since I've installed the Echoes decor mod, I've been decorating like a madman.
Yes, you have. I've been making ammo. You have been making things more beautiful.
I'm channeling my inner Shalene, you guys.
That you are. Speaking of channeling our inner Shalene, up next we have Shalene's submission. Just like Mom used to make. Didn't seem to share right on mobile, so here's a screenshot. It's from Fallout 3, and tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So this is in the lovely community of I just blanked on the name of this community.
You're talking about the cannibal community.
Pardon?
The cannibal?
Pardon me?
What?
Cannibal? I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm in this lovely community with these lovely families who have shared some strange meat pies with me. Andale, thank you, Bones. I don't know why I blanked on that. But I'm sitting here, my character is sitting here wearing Button's wig, sitting at the table with one of the lovely families of Andale. I think it's the Wilsons, and we're all enjoying a delicious strange meat pie.
Love it.
Crusts.
That's just... It's a thing. It's a thing.
I love Andale because it's a totally optional area of Fallout 3. You can play many hours of Fallout 3 and never run across Andale, and you can go there and never find their secret. And
is it marked? Is it a marked location?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was.
Yeah.
So up next we have Amanda Rose. Loving the
This
food in
one's-
Monster Hunter World. Doesn't what, Vendor?
This one is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter
It's
what
so
I...
great. Sorry.
No, you're good. Doesn't matter what I eat. What matters is the food is cooked by cats, and I get to share with my cat, Ari.
This is such a great in-game screenshot, you guys. I don't even know. It's so good.
Describe it for our audio folks.
So for our audio folks, she's got, I think, maybe 3 cats.
She's got 2 cats surrounding
Looks
her.
like there's 2, and there's some sort of like metal steam contraption in the background. But she's sitting at this table outside, like the tea party in Alice in Wonderland, and the table is covered in like a giant turkey and skewers with meats and shrimp and bowls of food and a big grog of ale, and the cats are all dressed in like armor and stuff. It's super cool, and she has a chef's hat on, and she looks like she's about to take a great big bite out of her chicken leg or turkey leg.
Ye old turkey leg.
Monster Hunter looks like a really cool game, and I
That
want
game is so pretty. It's so good. The graphics are nice.
one of my
Like
classmates.
to try that as a co-op experience.
Yeah, one of my classmates plays it on PS4, and he said he's addicted. So,
Yeah, I have yet to really look at this game, but the one thing I noticed was like the face looks so good. Like
Yeah.
her face looks super good. So I'm kind
The
of
little
curious to
cat
see.
people are cute too.
Yeah. So, of course, cats. I'm surprised that they can do anything organized considering the personality of cats. And the next one up is Archin, and I'm waiting for it to show up on the stream so I can read it. And here we are. Got to show a little love for Red Dead playthrough. Consumables, Vittles?
Vittles.
Is that like beef jerky?
I guess. I don't know. It's
Good old
food.
Vittles. Fiddlesticks.
Vittles.
Oh, you're already about to
Vittles.
Google.
Urban Dictionary. Southern slang for vegetables or any other food that gives vital nutrients.
Oh, Vitals. Great. Not at all beef jerky.
We'll call them Vittles because it's funner to say.
Vittles then. And then it's back to Sean Collins. So that is our submissions. Thank you very much.
Where was Pantagruelia's? Didn't she have one?
Pashabri? Oh, she did have one, didn't she?
I don't know. I got
Yeah.
them all from Vendor.
Well, hers was a big pile of Skyrim sweet rolls on a table.
Oh,
so
we
thank you
did.
so much for submitting, and we're sorry it didn't get in here. But
Yeah, I did download it and it was in the Google Drive. I'm double checking, so it's not my fault.
it was the Enclave, guys. It was the Enclave.
I downloaded everything in the folder, Vendor.
I'm looking right now.
We love you anyway, Pantagruelia. We're sorry, but
Yes.
it was a table heavily laden with sweet rolls. It looked like a collection of sweet rolls to rival my cheese wheel collection.
It is in the Google Drive,
Indeed.
so I blame Rick.
I downloaded the folder.
Oh, it's in
So
the
let's
folder.
not assign blame, gentlemen. Let's not assign blame. Let's instead move on to our next challenge. We have to issue another challenge.
Go ahead and take care of that.
So next time, why don't you write us a video game haiku? I think it would be a lovely, lovely contribution to the Gamestack podcast if you just wrote a video game related haiku for us to read on the show. You can share it along with any old video game screenshot. Send that to us on Twitter using the hashtag GameStackChallenge.
And I'm going to build on top of that and say, don't just tweet out the haiku in text. Be creative. Put it on paper, write it, calligraphy, use different ways to express it, and take a picture of it and post it to Twitter.
Yeah. Be as creative as possible with it. I think that'd be cool. You posted one the other day that was really funny. So.
That was my old one from Followed Off the Record.
Did we do a haiku?
You did.
Yeah. You even wrote one, I think, for that challenge.
Did I? I did something.
You did, yeah.
You know, if you did you ever do a challenge for this podcast, Rick?
No, are you kidding me? No.
So now's your chance. Write a haiku on Ghost Recon. There you go.
Okay, guys, let's move on to our next segment.
Okay, I was trying to.
You want to take this one away?
Yeah. So for the next segment, I wanted to pose a question that maybe we could talk about a little bit. And the question is, and people in the chat feel free to chime in. If you had an infinite budget to design any video game you'd like, what would you create? It's a tough question, right? I've given this some thought this week, and this is what I've come up with. So I would like to see, actually, I would design, because I have an infinite budget, I would take all of the data collected from Google Maps and create an exact perfect world replica of our real world and put NPCs in that map, and it would all be 3D, of course. Make it VR ready so that you could literally just travel across the world and climb the pyramids if you wanted to. I know you can do that in Assassin's Creed, but it's not the same thing. And so that it would be like the perfect life sim, basically. That's my idea. And I would imagine it would be very expensive.
If anybody needs me, I'll just be over here coming up with a new idea.
That sounds like life.
Well, it is, right? And that's the thing. Like, why would you ever want to play a video game of your own life? Well, my life is depressing, so I would never want to play a video game of my own life. But I do want to see what France is like. I don't know if I'll ever have a chance in my lifetime to travel to France, you know?
Okay.
So.
You know what I think I would make? A Wheel of Time video game. Are you guys familiar with the Wheel of Time series?
No.
It's a book series. There's like 16 of them. There's a whole bunch of them. If you start reading these books, like you're committing yourself to maybe a couple of years, depending on your reading speed. I reread them a couple of years ago, and I read pretty fast, and it took me months to get through them all.
Really?
They are tremendous, tremendous fantasy books. When you get a physical hardcover book, it's like this big.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're like massive. You can't like hold them and read them. You have to set them on a table or on your lap or on the bed or something. But I really enjoy that series. I've been reading it since I was probably about 14 or so. They finally finished it. It's a really great series. It's very highly detailed. There are about 1 million point of view characters in the series, and I think that with infinite budget, I would make a video game that would combine sort of the storytelling, the character interaction of a BioWare style game with the ability to pick up every fork and teacup of a Bethesda game and make the choices actually matter. And maybe something like the decisions that you make, you could play as each point of view character, that kind of thing. It would be really fun. I would like it.
Yeah, I would play
They have good audiobooks, Joseph Tao asks. Yes, they do. They are excellent audiobooks. They're like 70 hours long or something, but I did listen to several of them in audiobook form. They're very quality.
I would
That's a great idea, Shalene. I would definitely spend $39.99 on that.
If I had unlimited budget, I would make an open world game that's as big as Star Citizen or No Man's Sky, but based in the Firefly setting with the original voice actors minus a few of them because they've passed on. But that's what I would do because I want Star Citizen, but it's so freaking expensive. Like I want to play that game, but it's expensive, and No Man's Sky is super lonely. So I'd like an MMO in some world that I want, and I want a space western. How hard? Why can't I get a space western game? Seriously, I just want a space western. Is that so hard to ask for?
Have you ever composed tracks for video games, Rick?
No, gosh, no. I'm not a good composer. My cousin does that, actually.
You're not a good composer.
I think you do yourself a disservice, sir.
I'm not.
You're a fantastic composer. I have never listened to a song you composed that was not a good song. Like,
this is true. I've never listened to a song that you've composed where I was like, meh. It's always been like, yeah, this is great.
But my cousin does that, actually. He's actually got a few games that have come out that his stuff has been in. So he's very good at what he does.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Shall we roll on into the emails?
We're not good at closing segments. We're just kind of
Yes.
Okay, that was that.
We're like an old hymn. We're like an old hymn. It just da 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 da, and then repeat.
So, guys, we have some emails. Who wants to read the first one?
I'll take it. Our first email comes from Gage, aka Jim. He says, "Hey guys, I would like to say I've been a huge fan of your podcast since the start. Fall It Off the Record was without a doubt my favorite podcast ever. I work nights, so I'm unable to catch the show live. I've never had much of a presence on social media either. However, I really want to stress how much this podcast means to me. I have a big smile on my face every time I listen. It makes my whole day. Just please, please, please don't ever end Gamestack, as you have already broken my heart twice. You should feel really bad."
It's sad to say that this will be our last. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Shots fired. Well, now Shalene is choking. This might really be our last show.
That really hurt.
He continues on by saying, "Well, anyways," I just got flashbacks in my head. "Hey guys, big gulps, huh? Well, see you later."
I did that, dude. I forgot to tell you the story. I was in Ocean City as like I must have been 17 or 18, and I came out of a 7-Eleven. There were two dudes with two big gulps, and I walked off. I was like, "Hey, big gulps, huh? All right, see you later," and then walked away and got in my car and drove away. And like they had the same deadpan stare of like, "What the heck was?"
Oh man, that's so great.
I cannot believe I did
Anyways,
that.
Anyways, back to what matters. He says, "Well, anyway, I have wanted to write and make a suggestion for a while now. Finally getting around to it. My favorite segment of Fallout Off the Record was the Fallout lore. So I was wondering, since Gamestack covers all games, if you might cover the lore for other games that you love. Also, I hope this isn't a dumb question. For a long time, I didn't follow the Facebook group or Twitter. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have heard about Gamestack. So in case someone else never followed either, would it be possible to add a show to Fall It Off the Record KD Radio Podcast announcing Gamestack?"
No. Is the short answer. We don't own those feeds without going into it too deeply. We do not own those feeds, and we couldn't do that. But it's a nice idea. So, yeah, I think it's a good idea to do lore from other games, but I don't know if I have time to do that.
Yeah, that took
Maybe
a lot of research.
Sometimes.
That took a lot of research on Charlene's part, and yeah.
Thanks for writing in.
Thank you very much. But
And thanks for following us through 3 shows, and we'll try not to break your heart anymore.
Have you noticed that a lot of the listener emails are always starting with that common theme? "I've been listening to all of your podcasts, and this one is the best one because Vendertron is in it."
I have always said back in the day that Mutiny is the best option. And hey, here we are. Moving on.
So our next email came from listener Mousetrap, who's in the chat right now.
Hey.
Can you guys please discuss console exclusives? I personally hate them with a passion. They're bad for those of us who can't afford a certain console and still want to experience a game.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can watch a Let's Play, but it isn't the same as playing it for yourself. I've provided a video that speaks at length on the matter. Please take some time to watch it and discuss your thoughts. Sincerely, Mousetrap.
I will have to check that out.
This was an extremely, extremely lengthy video, and I did not have time to watch it. So, but we can still discuss the topic.
If there was
what do you guys think of console exclusives?
I would say that it has vastly limited my gameplay experience because I haven't bought games that I don't have console for.
Right.
So,
right.
And that in and of itself is very disappointing. I agree.
But how would they make money? Like, how would PlayStation convince you to buy PlayStation over an Xbox One if, they didn't have something that they could offer you in return for your brand loyalty? You know what I mean?
That
There's no
said,
hardware difference.
I think we're moving into a new era with gaming where it doesn't really matter what you're playing on.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But again, why buy a PlayStation over an Xbox over a PC?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's a place and there's a time for exclusives. And one could argue that it pushes developers for those exclusives to make really good games. Because if you make exclusives that are poo, then there's no reason why anyone should buy a console. But you make stuff like Drake's Uncharted, you're going to want to buy a PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore it makes people make good games. So there's something to be said for that. It's stupid that it's monetarily driven. At the same time, you're getting really good games. So, well, at least on PlayStation's part, I can't say that there's anything that's really caught my eye for like Xbox and stuff like that. But regardless,
I think that it's something that's bad for the consumer. Console exclusives, bad for the consumer. But I think it is something that's probably good for the industry at large because that competition does drive each creator to sort of push their things a little farther. And I understand, it's awful that you have to buy all of this all of these different consoles. It's expensive. Gaming is an expensive hobby. And I do agree that while console exclusives are bad for the consumer, I think they do drive innovation. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And how long have we been upset with console exclusives? I mean, it's been happening since the dawn of video gaming. Atari had their stuff, Nintendo had their thing, and then it was, Dreamcast, kind of Sega, until they all kind of got bought up. But was anyone complaining about it then? And at that point, if you ask me, I think video game consoles were much more expensive due to inflation back when the NES and Sega were out versus now. I think like NES cartridges were like $80 or something like that, brand new. I mean, with inflation. So, like, are we just now starting to argue about it because we have a lot more access to see what exclusives are out there? Or what? I don't know.
I think we might be arguing about it partly because there's more equality in the industry when it comes to gaming, in the sense that we're seeing
equality?
That, and we're starting to see video games that have certain elements in them that we never really would have considered in the 90s, and the way that things used to be is really born out of a business mentality, right? Competition, capitalism, making money,
sure,
proprietary rights, that sort of thing. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't think they're ever going to go away. I really don't think they're ever going to go away.
Not in our lifetime.
No.
I think that we are slowly moving toward a PC-only future.
I mean, with VR, Although PlayStation is really kind of keeping up, and Microsoft is doing a pretty good job of that too. But
I think it's not too long before there are no consoles. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
And at certain points, consoles are going to incentivize buying their console even if exclusives aren't a thing. I mean, like free subscriptions to Netflix for 3 years or whatever have you. You know, they're going to come up with other ways for people to, you know, be incentivized to buy their console. And I think that in order for everything to be a PC future, PCs need to be couch friendly.
I agree with that.
And at this point, they're getting there, but there's still, you know, and going back to Valve, Steam, they tried to do that with Steam machines. Unfortunately, that did not work out because they didn't run Windows. Like, day one, chapter 1 of the PC handbook, run Windows.
Well, if you don't change, you die. So we'll see what happens in the next decade.
It'll be interesting.
I think, Mike.
Tell that to alligators, Vendertron.
I think. Well, alligators are like in a realm of their own. Didn't we just have a discussion about this?
Yes, we did. We just had this discussion.
Did we? Was I here for this?
You
no,
weren't here
it was
for that.
it was Shalene and I. We were talking about alligators
Mhm.
because that's what we do when we're without Rick.
We talk about how crocodiles are very similar to their millennia old ancestors. So.
Yeah. Mousetrap brings up a good point, which is what I was just going to mention. I think Microsoft is going to come back into the limelight in the next 5 to 10 years and be a bigger player even than Google. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because I think that they have they have the tech innovation behind VR and AR that nobody else has. And that's really going to make them a key player, but who knows? They've really kind of fallen out in the last few years. But I just tried to sign into Mixer today to watch Bree streaming, and it was the worst experience ever. I had to have this Microsoft account, and I already had a Microsoft account, and it wouldn't let me recover my password and it was just this disaster. And finally, I was like, I hate Microsoft. I'm not doing this right now.
I really, really, really hate that you can't change the email that's associated with your Microsoft account.
Yeah.
I have my gamer tag linked to this old email that I don't use anymore, and like I don't
AOL.
like. I would like it's
You've got
a
mail.
Yahoo for what it's worth, and I would very much like to link it to an account that I actually use.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts.
Our internet mom, Shwenny in chat, just said, I just listened to a podcast about the history of sea monkeys, and that was the podcast of stuff you should know. And I also listened to it, and it was amazing.
Well, for our
So you
audio
guys should listen to it. It's awesome.
For our audio listeners, we got there because Shwendy said, because you're talking about the crocodiles being closely related to their ancestors, and then she said, or Cleo,
Coelacanths.
that thing, and I said, or those sea monkey things. I can't remember what those things are called. Trilobites, troglodytes. Anyway,
Troglodytes are something different.
okay, I don't know, but whatever those little dudes were. But
Troglodytes are what's on your... No, never mind.
But
Street?
You were talking about watching Bree on Mixer, though. Bree loves Mixer. She thinks it's highly superior to Twitch. So
I think it definitely
got
has
something going for it.
It definitely has its advantages in that the community is different. Twitch is big, way, way, way bigger. And I think Mixer holds a lot of things over its head with that respect. I like Mixer. I like its format and its layout. It's really nice. If I could ever sign into it again, I'm sure I would enjoy it.
Mousetrap says you pronounce it coelacanth. So.
So that was Zoology 101.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, yeah, there's so much to talk about with exclusives, but I don't know. I don't think they're going away, and yeah, anyway. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with our listener emails that we want to add?
Oh man, I just have to share this little bit from chat. Joseph Tao says that his PSN account was made as a family account before he turned 18. So all of his information is under his mom's name. So to Sony, he appears as an older woman instead of a mid-20s guy.
That's good.
I love that. I love that so much.
That's great. Oh,
Let's roll on into the outro. Rick, do you want to take it away?
Yeah. Any plugs or announcements that you guys want to have? Anything you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, I think
Whoever-
we should send a big thank you and shout out to all the people who make the stream and podcast possible. First of all, Rick for making all of our music. Thank you. And Mrs. McVick, who was so kind enough to make the logos that you see for We Just Love Games and Gamestack. We also want to thank and give a big shout out to our moderators extraordinaire, Joseph Tao, Archin, and Kern Jess, who is not in the chat at the moment. And we also want to thank our recent listener who has contributed art, who is
the new
escaping
art?
me.
The new,
Manic95, or is it
No,
Mousetrap?
that was Mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
That did the wallpapers.
Yes. So thank you,
Mousetrap. I need to show you
Mousetrap.
that
We have included your wallpaper as a banner on our Twitter page. So thank you.
Yeah, awesome. That I didn't realize that was from Mousetrap, so thank you very much. And on that note, you can email us if you have anything that you want to say, or ask us about, or give us. Info at wejustlovegames.com is our email address. You can reach us all there. We can all three see that. But if you want to tweet at us, we are at We Just Love Games. You can tweet at Shalene L on Twitter. You can tweet at Vendertron at VendertronIn. And you can tweet at me at Rick McVick. On Facebook, it is facebook.com/We Just Love Games or facebook.com/groups/We Just Love Games. And on Discord, if you want to be on our Discord chat, which is basically just an after party, or it's a constant chat room if you're watching us on Twitch. It's basically like
it is the VIP to our Ford Pinto podcast.
So if you want to be a part of our Discord, please just reach out to any one of us on any platform and we'll get you hooked up with Discord. We record live at 6 p.m. Mountain Time or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the correct time, at twitch.tv/We Just Love Games. We're also on YouTube, iTunes, and Stitcher Radio, and anywhere else you get your podcasts from whatever aggregate you like. Please like, subscribe, and review. We appreciate it. We do not appreciate 1-star reviews, so don't do it. If you leave us a 5-star review, we will talk about it at the beginning of our shows and give you a shout out like the 2 we did tonight. And thank you so much for listening. Is there anything else going on you guys want to say before we're out of here?
So guys, we're going to drop into Pachinki?
Let's do it.
Hardcore. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you later.